What Would I Do Without You? Chapter 5. I sat in my car watching kids arrive and walk into school on the first day back. 10th grade was here, and all I could think about was what the year would bring. The first bell rang, and I started towards the door. I wish it was still summer, I heard a voice behind me say. It was James catching up to me. Yeah, I know what you mean, man, I responded. So, where is your homeroom this year? James asked, pulling out his schedule. It's in Miss Carrillo's classroom this year. That's on the second floor. You better get going before you are late, James advised me, knowing how I always ran a little behind schedule. Where are you? I am in Miss Garza's classroom, replied James, making a face of disapproval. Lucky you. It seems like you and the rest of the class will be staring at each other without talking for 10 minutes each day, I told him as I giggled. You know Miss Garza. The only thing she lets us do is breathe. Geez, I have a long year ahead of me, James complained. Hey, have you seen Aaron? I raised my voice as he walked away. What's with you two? You got really close this summer. Are you guys together? He yelled back. By the laugh in his voice and the dancing in his eyes, I had an idea that he was joking. But still, I had to be sure. What the hell are you talking about? I answered, raising a hand midway. Hey, just kidding, calm down. No, I have not seen him yet. Knowing him, he is probably already in his homeroom. I'll see you around, James said as he ran across the breezeway. Yeah, see ya, I replied, knowing he probably didn't hear me. Once in Miss Carrillo's room, I spotted Aaron quickly. Of course, he sat in the first desk in the first row. Our eyes connected, and he motioned to me to sit behind him. He had actually saved a seat for me. There's your boyfriend. He's waiting for you, said a voice behind me, and I knew exactly who it was. Now get out of the way so we can get through. I turned to look Chris in the eye as I moved over for him and his buddies. Piss off, I told him. He simply gave me a grin. I rolled my eyes at him and walked over to Aaron. Hey Aaron, what's up? I said as I sat behind him. So, I see that you have been warmly welcomed by Chris and his clan, he said dryly, looking forward. Clan of monkeys is more like it, I added as I laughed. With that, he turned to face me fully and nodded his head towards the schedule in my hand. So we exchanged papers. This really sucks. We aren't in any classes together, I commented as I looked through his. Yeah, I know, but we can still get together after school to study, he added. We did the usual, prayed, recited the Pledge of Allegiance, and listened to the announcements over the speaker. The second bell rang, and we were off to start our day. It was my second year at the school, and I held a lot of pride in knowing myself and what to do. By the end of the day, I realized that Chris was in most of my classes, but none of my friends were. I made sure I sat far from him in each class to avoid any kind of confrontation. In a way, I was grateful we shared so many classes because it meant that Aaron would be safe. At that point in my young life, I thought people matured a little each year. However, it was obvious that it wasn't true for everyone because Chris and his buddies were still the same. That evening, as I sat at the dinner table, I heard all about my parents' day at work. I could not help but think about my future and what I wanted out of it. After dinner, I went to my room and started looking through all the university brochures I had picked up from the counselor's office. I was looking at the different programs they had to offer. The deeper I thought about the future, the more I realized that everything I planned in my mind had Aaron in it. We had become such close friends that I couldn't think about going away for school without him. In everything that I imagined, he was always at my side. The fall semester was good for the most part. Every now and then, I would be the target of one of Chris's jokes or pranks. But I would hold back from defending myself because I knew in my heart that it wasn't the real Chris when he would act and talk in that manner. For some strange reason, however, I felt that sometime in the future, at the end of all of this, Chris would be the one reaching out for my help. I could never explain why I sensed that, but I did, deep down inside. Every time Chris came to mind, I could picture him on our first day of first grade with that scared look on his face. I knew he was not as strong as he pretended to be. I also realized that even though he acted like he was such a leader, he was actually only a follower desperate to fit in. This gave me great comfort in those young teenage years, but it also made me sad. I knew the real Chris, but the person that I saw day after day was not the one I met 10 years ago. He had let peer pressure take over and control him. Before long, it was the week before Christmas vacation, and we were taking our midterms. I really hated that week. The pressure of studying, staying up late, and waking up early to review a little more made me feel like a zombie. I could not wait until the end of the week so I could finally breathe. The one thing that kept me going was knowing that once it was over, Aaron and I would spend time together without worrying about schoolwork for 2 weeks. The day of our last test, the student body gathered in the gym to have our school-wide Christmas Mass before the holidays. We were out of school by noon. After Mass, Aaron and I walked together to our lockers. His was usually the first stop. As he was collecting his things, we talked about our plans for the next 2 weeks. We were so into our conversation that I didn't realize Chris and his friends were walking up behind us. "So are you girls going to do each other's hair and talk about boys tonight?" My body tensed up, ready to defend myself. But by the time I turned around, Chris and his gang had walked away. "I guess that asshole needed to make sure that we knew he was still alive before leaving on vacation," said Aaron as he stuffed his backpack with books. "Man, I was getting ready to throw hands," I told him. "It's a good thing you didn't. I don't think that I would have been able to defend you if all those monkeys began pounding on you." Realizing there was truth in that, I was glad I kept my cool. It really was a good thing that I did not start something because Aaron had never stood up for himself. He would have been a sitting duck, and I probably have ended up with a bunch of fist marks up and down my body. That evening, after dinner, I was laying on my bed thinking about what I had accomplished that semester. I worried about my midterms and wondered how Aaron had done on his. It was nerve-wracking at first, but as the night wore on, I decided to forget about school and relax. I went over to my abuelo's room. "Hi, abuelo. What are you doing?" I asked as I sat on his bed. "Hi, mijo. I'm reading today's newspaper and waiting for my favorite show to start." "How was your day? How did you do on your exams?" he asked as he folded up the paper and laid it on his lap. "It was good. I think I did okay. At least I hope I did. We will see once I get my report card. I know I did well in most of my classes. History was the only one that gave me some trouble." "I am sure you did good. Don't worry yourself too much. Everything will work out in the end," said Abuelo with a smile on his face. He always said that to me with so much confidence. His philosophy was that there was a bright side to everything, and things happen for a reason. I sat with him a while longer and talked about school and Christmas. "Okay, Abuelo, your show is about to start. We will talk later," I told him as I stood up. "Okay, mijo." He extended his arms to me. He always gave me a hug and a kiss on the forehead before I left his room. The phone rang as I was walking into my bedroom, so I turned around and grabbed the receiver. "Hello?" I answered. "Hey, Isaac. What are you up to?" It was Aaron. "Nothing much, just hanging out in my room thinking about midterms." "Well, stop thinking about that and come over to my house. I already called everyone else. The girls are bringing food, and James said he would rent a movie," said Aaron enthusiastically. "Yeah, that sounds like fun. Give me a second. Let me ask for permission," I said, grateful for the invitation. Before I could put him on hold to ask my mom, he added, "Hey, ask your parents if it's okay that you stay the night. That way, they don't have to worry about you driving home so late." If Aaron sounded excited about hanging out and watching movies, I was elated that he had asked me to sleep over. I couldn't wait. I am sure there won't be a problem with that. I will be over in a while. Cool, see you soon, he said before he hung up. Later that evening, James brought over a double agent spy movie, and we ate junk food all night long. A couple of times, Aaron's mother had to come in and quiet us down because we got carried away shit talking or play arguing. I don't remember who brought it up, but we started talking about what we wanted to do after high school. I listened to each of their ideas and thought about my own plans. Aaron caught my attention when he started talking, and after a while, listening to him, all I could see were his lips moving, and then suddenly, there was no voice. I was in a soundless trance. I looked at Aaron and studied everything about him. I noticed that his hair was dirty blonde, and he parted it on the left, causing the right side to puff up slightly. I noticed that the color of his eyes changed depending on how the light hit his face. His lips were full and a beautiful deep rose color. As he spoke, I traced his jawline down to his neck with my eyes. I had not noticed his Adam's apple until that night. He wore a black V-neck sweater which exposed an indentation at the base of his neck where the collarbones met. Hey, Isaac, hey, do you want to come back to Earth? I heard my name from a distance and saw a hand waving in front of my face. I realized James was trying to get my attention. Huh? I asked. Are you with us, Isaac? He laughed. Yeah, man, I'm here, I said it, shaking my head to clear my mind. Really? Kind of seemed like you were in a different world, James mocked. No, I was just listening to what Aaron was saying, that's all. I cleared my throat and grabbed some chips. Really? So, what was he talking about? James asked, teasing me. And that was when I thought I was going to die. What was I supposed to do? I had no idea what Aaron had said. I prayed for the power to go back in time and relive the conversation. Thank God, Aaron's mom came in and interrupted us. Aaron, she said, it's getting late, hon. Yeah, okay, Mom, he answered her. Wow, Saved by the Bell, for sure. I was going to have a hell of a time trying to get out of that one. Hey guys, Aaron said, jumping to his feet. I have a little something for all of you. I want to give it to you now since I probably won't see you until after Christmas, he said as he walked into his bedroom. When he came back, he had several small gifts in his hands. It caught my eye the other day at the mall. It's something that will serve as a reminder of our friendship. Aaron gave everyone their gift and a hug as they walked out the door. You coming, Isaac? Asked Mary as she walked out of Isaac's front door, closely followed by James. No, actually, I'm going to stay the night. Aaron invited me earlier today. Yeah, would you like to stay also, James? Asked Aaron. I was shocked that Aaron asked James if he wanted to stay the night. Suddenly, all I could think about was who would sleep in the middle of the bed. It was going to be so awkward if James decided to stay. Thankfully, he declined the invite. Nah, man, I have to do several things with my parents tomorrow. But thanks for inviting me, James answered as he waved goodbye. Sure thing, I will talk to you guys later, said Aaron as he closed the door. We returned to his bedroom and climbed into his bed to watch TV. After some minutes of silence, Aaron sat up and asked, Isaac, aren't you going to open up your gift? I thought I would wait until Christmas. Do you want me to open it up now? I asked as I reached for it. Yeah, I would. Anyways, I have another gift that you can unwrap on Christmas Day. This is something that I chose specially for you. Go ahead. I began tearing at the St. Nick paper that wrapped around the box. As I opened the box, Aaron said, I got one for everyone in the group. I thought it would be special for all of us to wear it since we are friends. He said this to me as I pulled out a bracelet. The thing about yours, he continued as he reached over to his nightstand and pulled out another bracelet, is that it is exactly the same as mine. Both of the bracelets were indeed exactly the same. They are made of steel, and you can adjust the length by connecting links to them, and each link has different figures. I chose the one that have the symbol for friend and courage. You can change it up if you like, but I wanted both of ours to be identical. It's my way of telling you that I appreciate and enjoy your friendship the most. I will never forget that amongst all the people in our class, you were the first and only one who befriended me. I will wear this bracelet as a reminder that I have a special person in my life. Thank you for being my friend, Aaron told me as he put his on. I didn't know what to say or how to react. Him saying that he would never take the bracelet off made me wonder. I knew that we were good friends, but I didn't know just how strong his feelings were. It felt as if he was trying to tell me something, that our friendship was more than just a typical friendship. He had opened up to me in ways that no one else had, causing an emotional spark in my heart. Thanks for this. It means a lot, I said. I wanted to say more, but that was all my courage allowed. What are you boys up to? A voice came from the door. Nothing, Mom. I'm just giving Isaac his gift. Is that the friendship bracelet that you were buying the other day? She asked as she walked into the room. Yes, Miss Smith. Do you want to see it? I asked her as I held out the bracelet. Yes, that is the one I remember. It took him a while to choose this one. He wanted it to be special, she said, smiling down at me. Actually, Mom helped me choose this one, Aaron clarified. Yes, Isaac, we were looking for the one that best described you and Aaron. We were on a mission and didn't stop until Aaron was satisfied with what he had chosen. She said this with a loving little laugh as she looked down at the bracelet. And as Aaron's mother finished her sentence, she looked up from the bracelet. She looked at him, then at me, and seemed to question us. But at the same time, she radiated happiness. At that time, I naively believed she was happy her son had found a good friend, one that she felt would be by his side whenever he needed help. That night, as Aaron slept, I held the bracelet in my hand and thought about how special our friendship truly was. I considered myself a friendly person, and I had always put a lot of value in all my friends. But I never thought that one day I would meet a person that meant more to me. I began to understand that I had a best friend. The more that I thought about our friendship, the more I realized it was true. We had the same interests, and everything we did together. With Christmas coming up, I felt I needed to get him something special as well. Everything Aaron did and said played over and over in my head as I drove home the next morning. I couldn't believe what my heart was feeling as images of Aaron flashed through my mind. Suddenly, I thought, what the hell's going on? At the snap of a finger, I felt fear and confusion, even though I was also excited beyond any emotion I had ever felt before. I had to pull over to just sit there and try to make sense of what was happening with me and within me. What was it that I was really feeling? Every thought I had of Aaron was more than just a thought. Every memory I had of him was more than just a memory. It was almost like I wanted to see him and be with him all the time. There on the side of the road, I questioned myself. What did this all mean? Why was I thinking this way? And why did my heart feel like it was going to jump out of my chest every time I saw him? Could this possibly be what gay meant? Was I gay? Did I like boys? I spent most of the day trying to sort out my thoughts and feelings. It wasn't until I really saw Aaron for who he was and what he meant to me that these emotions began to surface. I realized that my feelings towards him were more than just friendly. They were feelings of love. But it wasn't like the way you love your best friend. No, it was a deep love, a kind of love that I had never felt in my entire life. And that really scared me. but he also made me happy. Being with him and talking to him and wearing that bracelet made me feel complete. When I wasn't with Aaron, I couldn't wait to see him. And when I was with him, I wanted time to stand still. That was the moment I came to the conclusion that I was gay and I had fallen for my best friend, Aaron. I needed to find something special for him for Christmas. My mission was clear as day because I wanted Aaron to know what he meant to me. He had put so much thought into my gift, and I had to do the same. I had no idea what to get him, but I couldn't ask my mother for help in fear that she would find out how I felt for Aaron. Asking friends for their opinion was also out of the question for the same reason. I had to go about it myself. An idea finally popped into my head. In my young teenage mind, it was the best idea ever. I was going to invite Aaron to the mall to walk around. If he made a comment about something he saw, it would give me an idea of what to buy him for Christmas. The plan was set, and I waited for him at the main entrance of the local mall. After 20 minutes, I spotted his car driving into the parking lot. My heart began to beat faster, and I could feel sweat beads forming at the top of my forehead. My hands began to feel moist. Calm down, I kept telling myself. Nothing is different about this day than any other day I have hung out with Aaron. I managed to slow my heartbeat down until I saw him walking towards me. No matter how many deep breaths I took or what I told myself, I just couldn't regain control of my excitement. Before I knew it, he was opening the glass door. Our eyes locked onto each other, and all I could do was hold my breath. Isaac, is something wrong? He asked, almost blushing as he watched my reaction. No, why? I said, feeling my own cheeks flush with embarrassment. Your cheeks are all red. You look like you ran a mile and your heart is about to burst or something, he said, giving me a shy side glance. Or something, I said in a low voice. What was that? This time, he looked me straight in the eye. Nothing. Let's get going. I let out the breath I was holding, followed by a short little laugh. After a few minutes of walking aimlessly, my nerves faded and I could breathe normally again. My plan was to show him different items in an attempt to read his reactions. However, most of the time, he would simply say, "That's cool," or shrug his shoulders with a half smile and walk away. My plan was not working out the way I intended. Aaron and I had been at the mall for about 2 hours, and I had discovered nothing. I didn't even have the smallest inkling of what he would like. We walked into a store that sold charms and crystals that some believe had the power to protect against evil or ill feelings towards someone. The charms were in the shape of eyes and some were in the shape of a shield, but all the crystals were small and pointy. As we were looking around, Aaron came upon an infinity charm made of wood that parted in half. One half had the word friends engraved on it, and the other piece had the word forever. I like this. This would be something you could give to someone special, I heard Aaron say as he held up the charm. I made my way over to him as quickly as I could to see what he was talking about. I almost blurted out, "Finally! These would be the perfect charms to add to our bracelets." I noticed there were 2 sets left, and I knew for sure I could come back the next day to buy one of them. By the time we walked out of that store, we were both tired and decided to call it a day. Hey Isaac, before you take off, I wanted to ask if you had any plans for Christmas, Aaron said as he held the door open for me. Well, my family and I wait up until midnight on Christmas Eve to open our gifts. Then, on Christmas Day, we hang out and wait for visitors. Or, we go and do some visiting ourselves, I told him as we slowly walked to the parking lot. Cool. I was wondering if you wanted to come over to my house when you were done with your family on Christmas Day. We open gifts on Christmas Day sometime in the evening. Well, at this point, I was no longer listening to what he was saying. Aaron had just invited me to spend Christmas Day with him. and an excitement started building within me. The thought of hanging out with him on a cold day wrapped in blankets and watching movies was more than I could dream of. Actually, we are doing it this way because my dad will be away on business trip and won't be back till Christmas Day. So my parents decided we would open up gifts when he got home, he finished explaining. I leaped out of my romantic reverie and caught up with what Aaron was telling me. I responded with, "Yeah, that would be nice. I don't think my parents would mind as long as I spend some of the day with them." Then quickly and not thinking with my brain, I added, "Hey, what if you come over Christmas Eve and stay the night? We could be back at your house by the afternoon," I suggested. He hesitated as if he was trying to come up with an answer. Then slowly, as if finalizing a solution, he said, "You know what? Since my dad will be out of town, I don't think it will be a problem with my mother. But I'll still have to ask her first." "Okay, call me and let me know," I said, trying not to let my disappointment affect my tone. "I'll talk to you later, Aaron," I added, motioning towards the direction of his car. "Yeah, see ya," he said as he walked towards his car. In my room later that day, I thought about how I was going to pay for the charms Aaron had liked at the store. "What are you doing, mijo?" my mother asked as her head suddenly appeared in my door. "Nothing much, Mom. Just thinking about how I can make some extra cash," I told her as I sat at my desk with my arms crossed. "What do you need the money for, mijo?" she asked, walking into my room and sitting on my bed. "See this bracelet, Mom?" I held up my arm to show her Aaron's gift. "Oh, yes, that is nice. Where did you get it?" she asked as she looked at it dangling on my wrist. "Aaron gave it to me as an early Christmas gift, and he has one exactly the same. It's a friendship thing," I said, searching her face, trying to gauge her reaction to my half truth. "Today, while we were at the mall, we found some charms that we liked. I thought I would buy them for us to add to our bracelets, but they're $30 and I only have 15." I tried to make my puppy dog eyes, hoping she would feel bad and give me the money, but no luck. After a few seconds of her trying to read my face, she said, "I'll tell you what, mi amor. Help me make dinner, wash the dishes, and clean up the kitchen when we are done, and I will give you the money." Thank you for listening, and if you like what you heard, please like and subscribe. And stay tuned for part 2 of chapter 5 of What Would I Do Without You. Until next time.